Kayla, what is that? You told me it wasn't scary. How do you explain that? Nature? Ghosts? What should I bring a Mothman whacking stick?
Should I bring a gun?
Should I bring a gun?
Now we're going to be starting at this entrance right here, making our way down through, up through the small entrance, then all the way down into this room. Once we hit that room, it is actually a dead like meeting the daggone Grim Reaper himself!
No.
Because you can't get out.
What?
Nobody's gonna know you're down there, first off. If you go by yourself, you get hurt. Nobody's gonna know. You have to have at least 3 people. Problem is, even with 3 people, it's gonna still take them about 4 to 5 hours to find their way out. Not a fun time. You're stuck in an environment that you can't see a thing. I have tried running through an environment like this. Not fun. So just kind of stick with me and you'll be all good. That were spread back in that area. Back during the 1800s, people would not go back there are these rumors. It's as if you went back there, your torches and candles would have gotten blown out. Thoughts being caused by an evil spirit or otherworldly power. 2 skeptics decided to really see what was going on. So what'd they do? They went back in the room. This would end up being the most fatal mistake. Hours later, they never returned. People went looking for them. Nothing left but a pistol and a pickaxe. I'm joking.
Oh.
No, I'm cutting that part out.
Welcome to the 1800s.
Thank you.
Not really.
Oh.
Everyone here would have a candle instead of just me, and I'd have a 10-foot torch. This torch I'd be carrying would stand about 10 feet in length and would allow me to climb the formations to illuminate the ceiling for you. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Now, the next demonstration I'm going to do here, I cut off all lights.
Don't.
you want to make sure everybody here is okay with this stuff?
Yes.
People know my style. 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
So tell us who you are and where you work, what you do, all that fun stuff to introduce.
Okay. Name's Adam Nelson. I mean, first worked up at Massanutten, then I came here. A lot better job. You're doing a lot more. Eventually, I did these tours and then moved over to Fountain, which is a spelunking tour option we have. A little bit rougher than this, and then we're hoping to open up another tour eventually, a historical tour. Mainly just run tours, talk about formations of the caves, you know, what happened, and we all put our own spin on everything. And just try to make it as fun as we can for everybody, and we'll change things up every once in a while as well.
Yeah, you did a great job with the tour. We had a lot of fun. What are the things that you like to put into the tour to make it special to you?
Mainly the fantasy stuff I've always enjoyed. You know, I'm always a big fan of that stuff. Dragons, manticores, mythical, all that stuff. Stuff that you wouldn't normally see happen. I've always loved that stuff. So I'll talk about, I'll sometimes put dragon stuff in there. I'll sometimes talk about, you know, people disappearing, you know, just stuff that you don't normally see and it's not easily explained.
Right.
What's the dragon stuff?
The dragon stuff, so we have a pipe organ that we have. We call it the organ.
Uh-huh.
But I'll always talk about, you know, you get a side profile, it looks like a little bit of a dragon skull coming out at you. I don't talk about this, but there's another area we have that I like to call dragon tooth area. I forget what exactly I called it. You know, with the new section, I'll talk about it. You know, it's almost like meeting a dragon. You got the tail, which is the first entry point, and then you got the whole body and the head, which is the actual new section itself. So I'll do stuff like that. And I'll change everything up so it keeps it interesting to me and keeps it interesting to the guests. So if they come back and they get me again, they won't get the same exact thing from me like they did last time.
Yeah. I know one question I wanted to ask, but I don't know. It's weird during a tour when I'm just like, hey, but what about aliens? But did you hear, I don't know if the event that you talked about during the tour was the one that happened in like the Waynesboro area where it was like an earthquake, because there was like something there were like lights in the sky and they all headed up the East Coast to here, and then there was an earthquake and it was like a really big earthquake.
No, I'd never heard of anything like that happening here. Yeah, I never heard about any crash landings or anything like that happening or anything like that. Yet.
Exactly. So yeah, what is, I guess my last question would be like, if you could share a scary story about the caves, like what's the thing that comes to mind?
Mainly Dante's Inferno, because you think about them going back there and you don't think about them actually returning. You know, when they talk about the whole someone blowing out the candles, you expect them to not find anything, maybe find a pistol or a piece of the dog tooth spar laying there in somebody's hand that's been cut off, something like that.
Good.
But it's not like, I don't ever think of them actually being able to return out of that area, especially when you call it the infernal region.
Yeah.
So I always expect, you know, that's why I like to talk about that, just because, you know, I'll talk about them going back there and they'll say they'll disappear. So you don't expect them to actually come back. When you talk about a ghost being back in there, you'd think all that, you know, paranormal activity happened and they're just gone. And maybe a piece of them is left, maybe some clothing, maybe, you know, bones, something like that, but nothing of the person actually coming back.
It's just completely gone.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
We actually have somebody that I'll tell you about this too. So another guide that works here has actually taken photos, and she'll see what's like orbs flying across her screen, and she's talked about people feeling like she's been touched by something that's not even there, stuff like that. So we have had cases where paranormal activity has happened. Another thing, we actually had people that were ghost investigators actually went back in Dante's Inferno.
Really?
That came through. It was for a ghost show or something like that. So that was interesting. But we've had people see all kinds of stuff in that age. So
That's
it
awesome.
just all depends on what you're looking for in
Sure,
there.
sure. Well, thank you. That was great. That's gonna be great.
Oh, if you guys are doing stuff with ghosts,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like in the area, okay.